Raided a black church during Sunday service and deported a choir member who had lived in the U.S. for 30 years. The agency defended the raid and deportation. Watch the judge's reaction.
Your Honor, we received intelligence that an individual with an outstanding deportation order was attending services at this location. We executed the warrant during church hours. The defendant entered illegally in 1994. We had a removal order from 2002. We apprehended her at the church and completed deportation within 48 hours. We followed proper procedure.
Your Honor, I came to this country 30 years ago from Jamaica. I've been singing in my church choir for 25 years. Last Sunday, armed agents stormed into our church during worship. They grabbed me in front of the entire congregation and dragged me out. I have 4 grown children who are American citizens. They deported me in 2 days. I've been here 30 years. They raided God's house and took me away. What country does this?
Raided a church during Sunday service and deported a woman who's been here 30 years. She has 4 American children and 7 grandchildren. Stormed a place of worship and arrested her in front of children during a religious service, ordering her immediate return and granting asylum. And I'm reporting this raid to the Department of Justice for civil rights violations.
Raided a black.
That is some crazy shit right there. I mean, we say that they don't play, but these devils, man, this is the devil. All right, these are the devils, bro. First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. To the Zyphornis from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. It's going to be a quick show through the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Esau and his antics. I don't know how true this is. I see, because that's surreal right there. So Trump did say that they could go and attack. There's no asylums for people, some shit like that. Let me see something. Let me Google this. But then they go. Here's the hypocrisy. Then they go. They're the ones that sent forth they go arrest this guy, Don Lemon, and another media member because they said it disrupted Sunday service. But that's the same thing they did. So, like I said, let me go and make sure it's correct because I didn't hear nothing about it. Damn. It says recent events show ICE raids at church are occurring. Notable January 2026, this last month, North Hills United Methodist Church in, I believe, LA, where a taco vendor was detained during a food pantry, sparked condemnation and calls to end such enforcement in sensitive locations like house of worship, despite legal allowances for such action under certain condition, leading to increased community fear and adversity. And hold on, let me see something. Is this the one? So it's not one thing, it's a whole bunch of things. Let me see, that's LA. Let me see the Chicago joint. No, that's October. I mean, let's do both of them.
All right, you gotta stop buying generic Viagra if y'all over 40.
Yo, everything got a fucking commercial, yo. This society is fucking weird, man.
Chicago churchgoers leery to leave their parish today. Kids' soccer games canceled. Some of the realities after another weekend of federal law enforcement efforts with the government vowing there will be more. Our Sarah Maki looking into this tonight as we head into another work week.
We are deploying additional resources to apprehend rioters
and Antifa members engaged in domestic terrorism. In a Sunday post to social media, Department of Homeland Security leaders vow
they're speaking big things, but with no actions backing it up. So they created the narrative. They created a narrative to justify what they're doing. Which, if you justify it by the acts, you don't see what they're saying, or do you to the extent of what they're doing, right? But this shows you they don't care what the narrative is. They don't care what's right and wrong. They're gonna do whatever the hell they want. This is obviously not the one.
DHS is increasing operations in Portland, Chicago, and across our nation. Yell, 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 yell. Rapid response volunteers organizing outside St. Jerome Catholic Church in Rogers Park hours after an...
And they're supposed to be quote unquote Christian. This is supposed to be a Christian society, right? But look what you're doing. Okay? Who does shit like that? But they don't give a this guy, this devil. Let me go to another one. Oh damn, what else? To show you that this guy does not give two shits about anything. Damn, so the church sues over Trump's directive on ICE raids at house of worship. So he just literally he does not give a damn. What criminal, and this is how they get people, this is how they spin the narrative. If according to the scriptures talk about, matter of fact, let me get that real quick. They're illegal. They broke the law. What law? The law that you just made up out of your ass recently? Come on, man. This should not even. Let's really think about it. Then somebody will come around and say, "Well, it's been like that. It's been like what?" But they don't give a damn. All right, what scripture I was thinking about again? Apocrypha. Wisdom of Solomon. So I believe it's 14. No, I gotta go up. Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 11. Let our strength be by the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth. So they could make any law at any time and completely switch it, and anybody under that jurisdiction of what they say it is, without really telling anybody, right? Then they'll come down with the hammer on you. So is that right? Are you not supposed to educate the people? Now, yes, they didn't warn people. Oh, this is what this is what they was gonna. No, they told them they had to leave. But that video, does that woman look like she's pose a threat to society? It was supposed to go after criminals. So a criminal, rapist, drug dealer, all this, that to the third. These mother effers, they go after everything. But when the people protest in Minnesota, this guy and his administration, they went out to go and get Don Lemon, which is it was all an act though, by the way. But they went over there and arrested Don Lemon and the other woman. So yeah, this is selective outrage. ICE surveils Paris during mayor's mass. During mass, mayor says. So I don't know how true that video was, but I'm looking. It's not the first time. It's not the first time they did that. So they're just going around raiding everything. They're going to daycares. They're going to schools. There's no limit to the wrath that this man has inflicted. All right, and they're grabbing most of their citizens, and the shit that they're doing don't fucking add up. Let me see if this is the one. I just want something to back that up.
Switch to TurboTax.
Which most likely is not, but
Publicly call for an end to ICE raids. It was just last week when a vendor was detained during a food distribution event that immigration operation ended up in their parking lot. NBC4's John Kennedy's Klimek is live in North Hills. John, you saw this operation as it went down, had a major impact on parishioners there. It did. So they had this whole area set up, where those barrels are right there. They had pallets.
that's not the one. But there's no limit to what they would do, who they would do it to. Old, young, they have no mercy on anybody, which is scriptural actually. Real quick, Revelation 12:12, it says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that ye have but a short time." So the wrath that's upon the people is because he has a short time. And unbeknownst to the majority of these people who actually believed that they was safe, now this devil is showing his true colors. All right. And there's nothing anyone, or you could cry all day, all night. There's nothing to be done. They cook up their laws, and then now they're enforcing that, and they're showing no sort of remorse at all. All right. Since I make mention of it, and get it. Ezekiel. No, actually, hold on. Deuteronomy 28, which is 70 AD, but it goes into this as well. Let me see if I can get it right. Yep, 50. It says, "A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young," which was the Romans. All right. And then when they came back again, when they grabbed up Jake, throw him in slavery. And then it's happening again. All right. They're not showing favor to the old nor young. No matter where you are, they're coming for you. So once again, we are in Jacob's trouble. And this trouble, this Jacob's trouble that's taking place is going to be the most, which right now is the most scariest, fearsome, the most fierce thing that could ever happen. Well, for the 2/3, because they're coming down with great wrath. All right. And what the funny thing is too, like the judge was saying, you're not supposed to be doing that, right? Hold on, is that a law? Hold on, let's see something. Let me look this up. Prohibits. How should I do it? Should I put military? Oh, let me see. There's no federal law. Okay, general. Okay, so from entering churches, in fact, the amendment protect free exercise of religion, often encourage covenant. However, okay. Let me see. Hold on. Oh no, no, hold on. Wait, wait, wait. Oh, there it is. Law against, all right. Disrupting a church service is illegal under various states' penal codes. In New York, I know we know about that. California, federal law typically classifies a misdemeanor for making unreasonable noise, disruption, or preventing. Yep, 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 yep. That's why when the whole thing with Don Lemon and the protests, by this law, they have the right to do that. It says, okay, federal protection, the freedom of access to clinic, clinically, uh, clinic entrance space act prohibits using force, threaten, threat of force, or physical obstruction to interfere with people exercising their faith at a place of worship. So they're taking all these laws and throwing it out the window. Okay, that's what they're doing right now. So yeah, I know we know about that one right there. Hold on, let me see something real quick. Let me type in ICE. Disrupting a service, church service, includes by anti-ICE protesters. Nope, is illegal by federal law. Okay, now can ICE go in? That's what I'm trying to figure out. ICE. Ah, there it is. ICE can into the public unlock areas of a church, such as parking lot or friar, without a warrant. However, the journey cannot enter private, non-public spaces like offices or residence area without validated judicial warrant signed by a federal judge. While churches are considered sensitive locations where enforcement is usually avoided, this policy not a legal immunity. So they just wiggle away with the teetering with that law. So you can't disrupt church service, but they have the right to come in. We are full blown uh, Gestapo. We're full blown all that good stuff, man. Because they can't do it's crazy. It says warrant requirement. If ICE arrives, staff should ask to see a warrant. Okay, that's different. Okay, sanctuary destination. While offering sanctuary is common moral or religious stand, it does not provide absolute legal protection against federal agents, though it makes enforcement action less common. Rights of the church, a private property owner's church can restrict access to the property and have the right to refuse entering private areas. That's what I'm saying. It's like a thin line. They're gonna do whatever they're gonna do whatever they fuck they want to do, and we see it. We see it clearly now. All right. There's no safe space from them. And to be quite frank, we don't even feel bad for people like that because the Lord, the Spirit of the Lord is not in the churches anyway. Period. But the way they teetering, see, this is what see guidance of place of worship. I'm looking at this right here in Missouri. immigration enforcement. No, ICE agents and others may enter the public space or of the church or other place of worship without a warrant. But yeah, there's the same thing. So hypothetically, what if the church made it private for only members only? Can they go up and get them? You know, can they violate that law? But neither here or there. They're gonna do what the hell they want to do because we are in Jacob's trouble, and they're not showing no mercy. No mercy is given. All right, and they don't give a damn if they're old, young. There was a video. Damn, I was watching that. Let me get that real quick. And this is the video. I'm gonna play some of it and hear this white woman talk.
Legitimate. I talked to a kindergarten teacher that wants to deport the parents of a kindergartner at her school. And it looks like they have a child who was born in New York, which makes them an American citizen.
Yeah.
So we're looking to deport the parents and leave the child.
Right. Like I said, I don't know if they're here illegally. I just think it's odd, you know? Very odd.
What did you
Slakio, and what they're displaying, which we all know when it comes down to it, Edomites are nosy. They all had this mindset of, you know, the term Karen came about recently, but Esau always that those people always been that way, real fucking nosy and want to know what's going on with you and willing to snitch on you in a heartbeat because things don't feel right, don't fit right. But what's all this is conditioning the people when the shit hits the fan, when the new world order is established, they're gonna go after everybody because their neighbors are telling. When the scripture talks about many shall betray, let me get that real quick before, because I was, you know, through the spirit, I'm thinking about it, how these people are. And then if you watch any dystopia movie, like the movie Equilibrium, he had his own son and his daughter. The whole family structure, the way it was established, that they would snitch on one another. They won't even talk to one another. They would just talk to the state. All right. The state was the family. And that's what was happening. It says, real quick, right here. Matthew 24 and 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Which he's talking to is the elect of the nation of Israel, starting with the prophets. All right. But here it is. It says, and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And what is gonna cause people to betray one another if they're being rewarded for it? There was a video, I believe somebody had did it. There's a video I did long ago. I can't even remember how far it was. But you had AI showing the near future of people begging God for forgiveness while they snitching to the feds, all right, about their family members. I hope I don't get in trouble. Forgive me, God. And that's what they were doing. So you could clearly see this administration left this behavior well open, okay, for interpretation to everybody. So hold on. I'm gonna play a little bit more. I want to go to the point because
Like people that are born in another country.
Yeah, because you normally see those people where?
Like in the city.
Got it. Okay. Hispanics out of place now in country, not where they belong in city. So we were able to confirm that they are documented.
so she looks at a 6-year-old and I guess the parents came to the school. They're like, wait a minute, they belong in the city. They don't belong over here. And she's willing to have the child deported, but keep the child here. So deport the parents, but keep the child. So she's calling this guy who's pretending to be an ICE agent. All right. So now, I guess this is the good part. Well, not the good part, but listen to this.
Citizens, along with their child.
Oh, good.
So yeah, it's good because we don't have to deport a 6-year-old. And yeah, I mean, that little fella could have been a threat to our national security.
Why are you talking to me like this?
Say again?
Why do you talk to me like this?
I'm sorry, what are you referring to?
Like you're like sarcastic.
Oh, okay. I mean,
So she was basically getting serious. Like, yeah, that 6-year-old is a threat. But he was like, he said it in a sarcastic way. Let's show you these people are fucking monsters. All right, they're monsters. They're your neighbors. What's that damn? Oh, was that an episode in Twilight Zone? I believe it was Mulberry Street or something like that. Everybody was kind of flipping on each other. Some crazy shit like that. The whole neighborhood. There was another movie with Tom Hanks. Old 80s movie. I believe they believed that somebody in a block was a monster. Like the suburbs, in the suburbs, which everybody wants to move to the suburbs, but it's the worst, the worst of the worst, because everybody's watching everybody, right? That's what you had the neighborhood watches and everything like that. A lot of shit is unnecessary, right? They became busybodies. That's what it became.
I just thought that maybe you'd be okay and just happy that the people that you reported were actually here legally and that they belong, just like you and me.
Should I talk to your supervisor? You said you had a supervisor.
Yeah, I just thought you were going to be happy.
Yeah, I am happy, but I'm not happy with your attitude. You just said to
So hold on.
me, the 6-year-old won't be a threat to national security.
Yeah.
That's sarcastic.
I would think that the people that were deporting, especially 6-year-olds, that there would be a good reason for it.
I was talking about the people who I thought was illegal because they were born in a different country. I can't help that they have a 6-year-old. That's on them.
You know what we'll do? I'll get in touch with the supervisor. I send him a text. When he gets back to me, I'll see if he can follow up with you and others.
And what is his name?
His name is Brian. But yeah, thought you'd be happy to know that they're documented. But we'll have to.
I am happy. I'm super happy. I'm glad. That's wonderful.
Well, it's good. The 6-year-old can stay in the school, and I know stuff looking at him. And but yeah, we'll get on.
That bitch is definitely a Karen type. She's a devil, yo. Yeah, I'm super happy. I'm happy. I'm super happy. But here it is.
My supervisor just can give you a call back in a little bit.
Oh, Salakia, I skipped the part. And she was like, because he had said it in a fashion, and she's like, wait, you try to make me feel bad? Like these people are disconnected to everything. Everything that they have done to others, they don't share no empathy at all. That's why the scripture says, he shall have mercy. No, he shall have no mercy who them to show no mercy. Or if we paraphrasing. That's in James, the 2nd chapter. All right. They have no sort of mercy in their bone, but yet they expect mercy. All right. So because they expect it, the Lord's not going to show them no mercy for what the actions that they did. She's snitching on a. Here it is. These people complaining about in the hood how there's no fathers in the hood, right? But then you are the one that's completely destroying the family structure. You don't see the hypocrisy behind it. So these devils have no sensibility, no nothing. They don't have a righteous bone in their body.
I understudy here said you were having some issues with him about some out of place Hispanics.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
You sound exactly like Greg. Okay. I just didn't like his attitude.
I really do apologize for that. Looks like Brian said we did confirm the document status of these individuals, and we're happy we were able to do that for you despite the sarcasm and the things that you're complaining about.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad that they're fine folks and belong here and all that good stuff. But he's criticizing me because there was a 6-year-old boy involved. You know what I mean? But he's acting like I'm this terrible person because I'm going to deport a 6-year-old. And in fact, he goes today. He goes.
So she don't even see that she's a terrible person. You see the disconnect right there? She don't even see that she's a terrible person. All she sees is the fact by this fake bullshit law that they just did, it gives her the right to do this shit. Whatever she was feeling before, however she saw things before, now she's justified. So what they did was they played to the fears of Edomites, and they honed it. So now the Edomites can look at somebody else like, oh, I'm not wrong for how I feel about this situation. The law backs me up now. You see that? So don't expect these devils to show no sort of empathy of any sort. All they're going to do, all they ever have done, is be the monsters that the Lord created them to be. All right? I'm going to play a little bit more.
Because a 6-year-old would be a threat to national security.
Because a 6-year-old is going to be a threat to national security. And that national security really, that because Jake is blessed and they're not. And they can't have no fucking children like that. All right? That's the national security. So is it your Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans' fault that white people can't have no children? What do you quote unquote white people, so-called white people can't have no children? Is it our fault that they're not fruitful? They can't multiply themselves? is it our fault that the God of the Bible has not blessed them? Is it our fault? No. Because is there mere jealousy and envy. All right? And the Lord is exposing everything about them. They really feel small. They're not connected to anything. So because of these traits, they're letting the world feel their wrath. All right? But what they fail to understand, the Lord got their number. All right? Look, I'm going to end it off on this. You want to play that game? Hey, the Lord's playing in you too, you devils. This is a kind of oxymoron, but hey, I got to bring it out. It says, Psalms 37 and 35. I've seen the wicked in great power and spread himself like a green bay tree. So yeah, they're in power right now. They're all over the world. And they spread themselves thin. Yet themselves, they cannot even multiply themselves. So yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yeah, I sought him, but he could not be found because they're going to be destroyed. That rulership that they have is going to be thrown out the window. So with that being said, shalom to the elected nations of shalom.